Hello, and welcome to my very first channel status update. I've been toying with the idea of doing something like this for a little while, ever since seeing the Johnny Mars audio logs and subscriber specials, and then more recently Flying Staplers updates. I hope you guys don't mind me borrowing your idea, or well, I guess stealing it because I'm borrowing it without asking. Yeah, let's move on. Now, the thing that I've discovered with this is the biggest problem that I've had anyway, is deciding when to do the update, or rather, I guess, what to dedicate the update to. Like, you know, this update is sponsored by, because, and something that Flying Stapler recently touched on as well in her channel update, that all the milestones are equally arbitrary in nature, really, and so it's hard to know what really warrants the update, what's of significant enough importance to dedicate a whole update to. Though that makes it sound like the milestones themselves are not that important. They are, obviously. You know, the number of subscribers you have is an indication of how many people are enjoying your content, the number of views equally so. But following on from an amusing conversation that I shared today with Dapper Jester and Flying Staplers, I've decided to dedicate this update to the number 100, which is the number of videos I produced, or was. I've passed that a little bit now. And the reason why this number is so cool is because it has 2 zeros in it. That's right, 2 numbers which are both something and nothing all at once. How enigmatic of them. So yes, this channel update will be dedicated to the fact that I've produced over 100 videos now. Hurrah! Some of them people actually even seem to enjoy. I know, I'm as surprised as you. So, that out of the way, I no doubt you've noticed that I'm doodling on the screen right now. I'm using a tablet, so this is a little bit awkward for me. I don't use my tablet very often, but I suppose it's a damn sight easier than your mouse. But yeah, despite being a Let's Player, I actually found myself finding it difficult to talk at my computer without something to do. I guess this comes from the fact that I live commentary my game, so I'm playing a game whilst I'm recording. So there's something for me to focus on and talk about and react to and comment on. Whereas just talking at my computer just seemed really alien. Props to those who find it easy. I'm not sure if Johnny Ma or Flying Staplers find it easy, but you certainly make it look easy. So, well done you. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to use this scribbling. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. At the moment, I guess I'm going through the steps to draw my avatar, though it's a lot easier to do on paper. I still find tablets kind of hard. In fact, this tablet especially so, because I picked it up for like $10 at a convenience store. And $10 does not a good tablet make, I'm afraid. You get what you pay for. But yes, I hope my doodling in the background isn't going to be too distracting for you, or me. Probably more me, honestly. So, that all said, we'll put that aside, and I'll start this off by saying that, although I'm sure it goes without saying, amusingly, that the growth of my channel and the support that I've received from other Let's Players and just my subscribers has made me intensely happy and proud to a degree. Though I guess saying that I'm proud of it makes it sound a little bit big-headed, but I am. I feel really great that, especially because I've not really been Let's Playing for very long, I don't think. So to have people who seem to really enjoy my content, well, enough to subscribe, and people who regularly comment, it really means a lot. It kind of tells me that I'm doing something right, and you know, it's nice to be doing something that other people want to see. And it's not just my subscribers or the people who comment, it's also the people who just watch my videos, because Every bit of interaction with you guys, regardless how subtle, encourages me to continue producing these videos and to learn to make them better. So, first and foremost, I want to say thank you. Sincerely. Now, the second point that I'd like to get onto, I'd like to discuss my Let's Plays and my upload schedule. I've tried to avoid setting any hard and fast rules for my uploads, or to create any far-reaching plans. I believe the best laid plans are vague ones, which can bend and sway with the wind rather than fighting against it, which almost inevitably leads to the wind winning and your plans breaking. So mine are much more flexible generally, or not there at all. However, for the most part, things seem to have settled into a rhythm of their own accord. So I feel reasonably happy to state it explicitly. My two main Let's Plays at the moment are XCOM Enemy Unknown and Dark Souls. I tend, and hope to continue, to upload an episode of one or the other, sometimes both, daily. However, I also have a number of ongoing Let's Plays that could be classed as side projects, such as Faster Than Light or my various co-op games. These side projects will usually involve games that are more open in scope, or those with faster playthroughs such as roguelikes. I'll be far more relaxed with these games, I guess, and obviously as a result their upload schedule, though I imagine I'll upload a video from one or many of these games, at least weekly. I would say to expect to see new games popping up amongst these titles from time to time, but please don't worry that that'll mean that another game will be pushed off the list. I will flit between the games, frequently probably, and while it may be a week or more between servings of, say, Terraria, I will come back to them. I may even go on a binge for a few days with frequent uploads. But the other thing that I wanted to say was, I don't want anyone to feel that they can't give me a friendly nudge. If you feel it's been a while since, for example, you've had your last FTL fix, I mean, I can't promise it'll make an update any more likely, but, you know, it's good to know what people want to see, I guess. And that brings me kind of neatly, well, more in a rambling sort of way, to my third point that I've got on my cobbled together list of things to talk about, and that is my plans for future Let's Plays. As above, I don't really make rigid plans, so this is all subject to change based on nothing more concrete than a flight of fancy or a moment of whimsy. But I do have a few ideas that I find attractive right now, and I'd enjoy your feedback on them. First and foremost, more roguelike side projects. I started this channel with every intention of focusing on obscure, harder games like Dwarf Fortress or Cataclysm Roguelike or Adam. But I certainly got the hard games bit down with Dark Souls and XCOM, but I do want to focus, or draw some of the focus back towards some less known games. And I just realised what chiptune is playing in the background right now. It kind of caught me off guard. I was like, I'm sure I recognise this sound. And yes, the bare necessities of life, very important. I'm using a site that has various chiptunes on, and I'll link it in the comments in case anyone's interested. It's I think it's called Keygen Jukebox. It's a pretty cool site. So back to my original point. I do want to pull the focus back towards the lesser known games, which have defined my tastes over the last few years. So amongst my pick of roguelikes, there's obviously Dwarf Fortress, though I'm aware that Dwarf Fortress is a cruel mistress when it comes to Let's Plays. It's kind of like EVE Online. It's a great game to listen to stories of, because it generates such interesting stories, but it's a bit of a trickier game to actually play and record, because there's a lot of work you need to put in, and the stories happen sort of infrequently throughout a game, which might take hours upon hours upon hours. It might be hours upon hours upon hours between anything interesting happening at all. You might just be building stuff up. So that was probably on a back burner, though I would like to possibly try it. But other options are Cataclysm Roguelike, Roguelike Survivor, Adam, Stone Soup, but also there's graphical roguelikes such as Nomaria or A Game of Dwarves. So do let me know if you have any feelings or recommendations for good roguelikes that you've played or would enjoy seeing played. The other plan I have for future LPs would only be possible after one of my main LPs finishes, or I somehow invent a way to add more hours to the day, possibly by never sleeping ever again. I'll let you know how that one goes. But I fancy some console games wouldn't go amiss on my channel. I do play a lot of console games, it's just that obviously recording PC games is easier. Now, to record a console game, I would either need to purchase some hardware to allow me to record direct from my consoles or find an emulation solution. Don't worry, obviously I own the games that I'd be playing. Now, the 3 games that I'm considering playing are games that I've really liked. Games I played as a child or games I played recently that just really caught my attention. And the 3 that are on my radar at the moment are Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore, or Rune Factory. The first 2 are obvious choices, they're childhood favourites, and likely need no introduction. The third is a fantastic mix of Harvest Moon and action RPG. It's received far too little attention in my opinion. So I don't really think Harvest Moon would work so well as a Let's Play, at least for me. I know there are some other people who are doing it right now, and they're more power to them. They're doing a really good job of it actually, but I don't think my playstyle would do Harvest Moon justice. But Rune Factory has a lot of the familiar elements of Harvest Moon, but more action. There's combat, there's monster training and taming, and it's more gamey, I guess. Less simulation and open sandbox. Now, again, I'd like your input, I suppose. I'd really, if you've got any sort of thoughts, whether you think one would work better than the other. I mean, again, my restrictions on how I record it are possibly going to change what I choose, but that's about it, really. I've done everything I can think of to do but sign my name. Pow, Aavak. That's not what I look like, by the way. I'm from Wales, but I'm not a dragon. More than a pity, really. It'd be kind of awesome, though probably a little bit awkward fitting into the house. But yeah, so any feedback on what I've discussed, the roguelikes or my potential next main LP, would be really welcome. And that just about wraps this all up, I guess. I suppose the last thing to do really would be to say thank you for watching and thank you for following my channel up to now. I hope that you will continue to follow it, so thanks. I hope that my meandering path through this update hasn't bored you too much. I wanted to try and keep it brief, but I guess I had a little bit more to say than I was anticipating. But I hope my doodling in the background has helped to pass the time. So, on that note, and as always, until next we meet, do take care.